Talk, shop, pop, movies.
Ahoy there, this is Derek, the Convicted Cinephile, and if you're a convicted cinephile yourself, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel down below. On my channel, I'd like to talk, shop, and pop open, that is, movies and physical media. And first of all, I'd like to thank anyone and everyone who watched my most recent Criterion Barnes & Noble sale haul video. It was a good one. It was fun to make, fun to buy stuff, and you all seem to actually enjoy it, so I appreciate that. I just want to get that out of the way before I forget to mention it. And I did notice that about 60-something% of y'all aren't subscribed to my channel who watched that video, and a lot of my videos. So if you're not, and you're watching me, I mean, what do you got to lose? A few minutes of your time, maybe? I mean, that's about it. So please just subscribe to the channel, and that would be awesome, and I would love you forever. On to the actual video. I thought I would do a combo video, because I've been doing my complete collection of insert thing here, like steelbooks and boutique labels, and I was always planning on doing a Criterion Collection one. I was so busy with Halloween and blah blah blah, I was like, I might as well just wait till the sale and release it that month, because, you know, it makes sense. So I'll do my complete Criterion collection video right now, in numerical order, of course. Along the way, I'll give recommendations on ones that I love and would recommend you buy, just so I don't have to do a separate recommendation video, because it would just be me repeating myself. So, without further ado, all the way back to number 13. I used to own this on DVD. Now I have the Blu-ray. Silence of the Lambs, Best Picture Oscar winner, as we all know. If you're out there watching this and you have not heard of or seen Silence of the Lambs yet, welcome to movies. First of all, I'm Derek. Also, go buy this right now, or at the very least, go buy the Kino 4K, which probably looks as good, maybe a little better. I don't own the 4K because this is such a nice set, but the special features on this are more abundant, I believe, than the 4K. Plus, this is just gorgeous. The artwork alone, the food alone is worth the trip, I always say. But yeah, I used to have the old DVD of that. It's always been number 13. They keep the numbers when they re-release them. I always thought that was cool. Unless they were only on Laserdisc, then they get a new number. Go check out my video where I explain all that I did last year. It's actually kind of fun. I'll put it at the end in one of the things. Next, number 23. Speaking of old movies that had Laserdisc releases, this is a DVD. RoboCop, one of my all-time favorite movies, like Silence of the Lambs. Who'd have thought? But I do have this on multiple formats. I won't ever watch this again. I just really love the simple artwork. Obviously, you don't want to go buy this right now unless just for the sake of having it, kind of like I have. Go out and buy that Arrow 4K if you're going to buy a new copy of RoboCop. Here's a new pickup I just got. It's number 37. I didn't just get it. I got it during the last sale. 37 is Time Bandits. I used to have this on DVD as well. This is the lenticular 4K. It lenticulates real good. At least the colors change. I think that's kind of cool. It's pretty much what it looks like outside at all times right now in Minnesota after daylight savings. I really need to rewatch this. I'd say I recommend it just based on me liking Terry Gilliam movies. It's a weird one. It's about a little boy who travels through time with a bunch of little people, and then you meet like Robin Hood and characters like that through time. It's good. It's not as good as my next one, which is also a Terry Gilliam movie, one of my all-time favorites. This is like the number one thing I recommend to everybody when it comes to the Criterion Collection, and that is Brazil. It's not for everybody. The DVD set of this is gorgeous. It's like a 3-disc set with 3 different cuts of the movie. I can't remember for the life of me, every time I look at this, if this has all 3 cuts of the movie on it or not, but I believe it has, because this is 2 discs. It has the director's cut, which is 142 minutes. The theatrical cut was like 137 or something like that in that ballpark. So it's a little shorter, nothing crazy. But then there's the Love Conquers All version, like the producer's cut, or the studio cut, if you want to call it something else. It's only 90 minutes long, so they cut almost an hour out of this movie to try to make it more appealing to audiences. And then it was just they destroyed the whole thing. So I would recommend getting this just to watch both versions of the movie, and there's good commentaries on both of them too. Here's another good old one. I had so many on DVD that I sold over the years, which I'm pissed about now, because I probably have about twice as many as I do. if I didn't get rid of so many. Number 64, I have The Third Man. I kept this because it's in the AFI Top 100. It's a good movie. I'd say I recommend it just based on remembering it being good, but I don't remember enough about it to be like, holy shit, this movie's amazing. But there is better versions of this out other than this DVD. This DVD, I believe, is out of print. And then it was on Blu-ray from them that I also want to say is out of print now. I don't remember anymore. They go in and out of print so often, and someone else releases them. Who the hell knows? All right. This one I used to own, sold, and got back because I found it at Goodwill. And that is number 65. It's always nice when you get two numbers next to each other. Rushmore on DVD. This is on Blu-ray. I would recommend going that way for Rushmore. I like Rushmore fine. I'm not like a huge Wes Anderson geek or anything. There are movies of his I like a lot more than this one, and there's movies I like a lot less. This is kind of in the middle for me. But if you haven't seen Rushmore, give it a watch. Number 75, Kevin Smith's probably most acclaimed film, if not Clerks, Chasing Amy, also only on DVD from the Criterion Collection. I don't think they make this anymore. I'd be surprised if they did because it has Blu-rays and all that jazz ever since, and now it's in Miramax hell because of the Weinstein stuff and all that. It's a thing. I don't want to get into that. But I like Chasing Amy. It's my least favorite of the New Jersey trilogy, back when there was only the three of them. But it's a more serious dramedy than, Clerks and Mallrats are more goofy fun. But if you like Kevin Smith and you haven't seen Chasing Amy, you got to see it. This one I highly recommend. And that is number 91, the original Blob from 1958. I love the Blob. I love the remake of the Blob. One of the first videos I ever did on my channel was a original versus remake comparison video of the two Blob movies. Go back and watch it. Nobody else did. But it's like 22 minutes long of me just comparing the two movies and saying which one I like better. And I don't even remember. It's been so long since I made the video. So yeah, maybe I'll go rewatch it and see how terrible it is. The video, not the movie. The movie's fantastic. Go buy the Blob. And then also go buy the 4K of the 1988 Blob while you're at it. On to number 97. I still have this old chunky DVD, but you can get this in a very nice Blu-ray set from Criterion or a 4K from the studio, I believe. Do the Right Thing, a Spike Lee joint, as he calls them. Yeah, this is a beefy two-discer, back when they looked like that. Remember those? You remember DVDs, everybody, when they were cool? When they weren't just like things they sold at Walmart? I like Do the Right Thing. I'm not a huge Spike Lee person. Spike Lee. Yeah, Spike Lee. I almost said Spike Jonze, thinking I meant Spike Lee. I like Spike Jonze, too. I'm never a huge Spike Lee fan. There it is. But Do the Right Thing is good. It's one of his better movies for sure. Some would say it's a classic. I need to rewatch it to get it anywhere near that ballpark, but I am a huge fan of a couple of his other movies. One of which we'll get to eventually. This is a cool one. Another old DVD, number 105. The movie that I prefer over Ben-Hur. And it's, you'll see why when I say that. Spartacus. This cool, very simple artwork DVD. I love it. Number 105. I haven't been showing all these, but, when it's an interesting one, like an old one that you don't see often, I'll show it like that. Yeah, in that video I was talking about, I went over all the different labels and styles of their logo and all that. I need to rewatch Spartacus. It's like 3 hours long. It's a very good movie. Kirk Douglas, Stanley Kubrick. That's all you need to know. It's worth watching. All right. Next we have probably the second best film in the Criterion Collection, in my opinion. Number 1 being Armageddon, which I no longer own, sadly, on DVD. This is Michael Bay's other Criterion entry, number 108, The Rock. Mind the sticker from the store I bought it at when I worked there. But it's another big, chunky... Oops, upside down. 108, very simple. I like it. I love the simple artwork like this that these do. They either have like gorgeous, amazing artwork like Silence of the Lambs, or they just do something easy like this. And it's just as striking to me. If it's like just a picture of a movie poster, it's like, why'd you even bother? But The Rock is great. You can't get that anymore unless you find it used. I don't think they sell it. Hopefully Criterion releases a 4K of The Rock and Armageddon at some point. This one I found at Goodwill, and when you find a Criterion at any thrift store or whatever it is, you buy it. Even if you have it already, I'd probably buy it, to be honest. Number 283, big jump there. And that 100 or so missing is probably several of them I used to own and then no longer do, sadly. A Generation. I have not watched this. I'm not going to pretend I did. Like I said, I bought it because it's a Criterion and I found it for like $1. Why not, right? And I forget, what is the It's a Polish film, I want to say. Watch me be wrong. Yes, it is Polish. I'm right. I remembered. Yes, it is a Polish film. Need to watch it at some point. It's really short, only 87 minutes. That is from 1955. In Polish with English subtitles. Now, there's a good chunk of special features. They're always good about that. This one is also in the AFI Top 100, number 118. Did I miss? Is this one out of order? Very out of order. This whole damn thing's out of order. How did that happen? Now I gotta set it aside. I think they've been fine otherwise. I thought there was a big gap there, even for me. I don't have that many of these. Number 118, Sullivan's Travels. Another old DVD. Most of my DVDs are ones that are Best Picture nominees or winners. Or in the AFI Top 100. There we go. It's kind of hard to read the number, even if you can see it. But yeah. Sullivan's Travels. This one, another Wes Anderson classic. This one I like a lot more than Rushmore. The Royal Tenenbaums. This is number 157. Old beat up DVD case. God, this thing looks like hell. Another one that I bought, sold, and rebought because I found it thrifting. I would buy the Blu-ray if I was buying it new now. And this has cool artwork too when you open the inside of it. Gotta love that. Yeah, Royal Tenenbaums I like. I don't like it as much as I used to. I used to like it a lot. I used to watch it all the time. Then I rewatched all of his movies a handful of years ago, and I was like, this doesn't hit the same as it used to. Something about it, but it's still my second favorite of his movies. This one is either I think it just got announced for a 4K from Criterion. I want to say it is on Blu-ray. And there's another Terry Gilliam movie, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. A movie that if you don't watch it, you're not cool in high school, apparently. That's what I remember. But yeah, this one's got a cool, like, translucent slipcover. See? I don't think that's on the Blu-ray. I think it's just a standard case. So yeah, you got the goofy artwork in the back. One I kept purely because I like Terry Gilliam. And this, I was like, I don't know why I kept this one over other ones, because it's not a Best Picture nominee. Number 175 there. It's not a Best Picture winner. It's not an AFI Top 100 movie, but I kept that one over several movies I like more than that I used to own. This next one just got a 4K. I think it like this last month. This is the Blu-ray, and I used to have the DVD too. This one I actually upgraded. I don't do that too often. I'm not going to do it again because this one's fine. This one's fine for me. And that is Cronenberg's. David Cronenberg, just in case you're curious, since there is more than one now. Videodrome. I like Videodrome. It is very weird. I like weird things. Number 248 from 1983. Nice short movie. It's 89 minutes long. I always say if David Cronenberg can't get it done in 100 minutes or less, you get your money back, like the old 90s pizza joints. And I love that the case looks like a Betamax tape. Long live the new flesh. Yes, I can't explain Videodrome a lot. It's about a weird TV station that plays messed up crap, and a guy, James Woods, gets really obsessed about it and tries to figure out where it's from, and then there's stomach vaginas and people's hands turn into guns. It makes sense. Videodrome. We are on to number 300. I think there's supposed to be I don't remember. Some of these have slips. I didn't get the one with the slip cover. The Life Aquatic, number 300. Another Wes Anderson movie that I'm okay with. The cool thing about this one, though, is that it actually has reversible cover art. So I wonder if they had them with slips and then they just had them with reversible cover art. See? So if you didn't know it had that, there you go. The other one's more interesting. This is like the old movie poster. There we go. Bill Murray. I like it. I don't love it. It's aight, as the kids say nowadays. On to number 336. This is a fairly recent 4K re-release. A movie that a lot of people just love to death. I like it enough to have bought it because Criterion's hell and 4K. Dazed and Confused. Good coming of age movie. Like I said, I'm not the age of the people in the movie, so I don't connect with it on that level. But it's still a fun movie to watch every once in a while. It's got a good young cast of up-and-comers like Oscar winners Ben Affleck and Matthew McConaughey. Half the cast of Mallrats is in this movie for some reason. Yeah, and it's got one of the cooler cases too. So if you like coming-of-age movies or even just movies like this, I would recommend Dazed and Confused. May not be my favorite, but a lot of people, like I said, love this one with a passion. And yeah, I showed in my other video when I was looking for movies, the Blu-ray just has a regular case now. I think the Blu-ray used to have a package like this, and then when they reissued the 4K, they must have gone to standard cases for the Blu-ray. So get the 4K if you want the cool package now. Next, I have number 476. Is that accurate? Okay, so there is a legitimate big gap. I love this movie. I love David Fincher. The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. A lot of people are, hit or miss on this one. It's basically just like Forrest Gump with some extra fantasy thrown in there. But I love it. I'm not going to lie. I love this. And The Killer, his new film, just dropped today, apparently, on Netflix. So I'm extremely excited to watch that as soon as I get a chance. And this is one of the, it's already in a skinny case, which sucks. But it's got a Blu-ray case, which I hate. And the thing is, you can't even put it on a clear case because it's a thinner case, so the artwork won't wrap around a clear case the right way. It's like, not that I care enough to do that. If it would fit, I might. But then I gotta have a clear case lying around that I can use. It's a whole thing. So this is one I actually really wish they would re-release on 4K because it's an amazing looking movie. The visual effects, Oscar-winning visual effects, and makeup and all that would look great in 4K. And I just love David Fincher movies, and I want more Fincher on 4K. So I would recommend that one, especially if you're a David Fincher fan. It's probably the least David Fincher movie there is. This one is another Blu-ray that I found thrifting. So like I said, if you find one, you grab it. Doesn't matter what it is. Number 583, and this is The Four Feathers. Let me know if this one's good if you've seen it. I have not. This is from 1939. Got it for like $2, so why not? And it's a Blu-ray. Like usually if you find one thrifting, it's a DVD. You don't ever find Blu-rays. I don't, at least. Now you have like the worst thrift stores. And now they've increased the price of their DVDs at Goodwill's by me. It's like, what? Like, shouldn't they be getting cheaper or staying the same? But they're not. They're not VHSs yet. This next one, number 591, is an all-timer. Is one of my favorite movies of all time. So I can't not recommend this one highly. I recommend it to everybody. It does have a Kino 4K, so I would recommend getting that probably over this if you're not stickler about special features. But the best special feature of the Kino 4K is that it comes with the remake on Blu-ray, which is also very, very good. And I own that separately. 12 Angry Men. I like set in one location films fine. I never consider myself like a fan of them. Like I don't think about it often enough to care. But this is far and away my favorite all in one location film ever made, because essentially the whole thing takes place in the jury room. There's little bits and pieces that don't, but barely. In mono. But yeah, 12 Angry Men, amazing. If you haven't seen it, go buy this or the Kino 4K, whatever your jam is. Just own the damn movie and watch it because it's outstanding. Next is a very cool set I still have to open because, once again, I suck at watching movies. I don't have time to watch movies anymore. I'm an adult now. I used to buy stuff like this and knock them out in a day. But I got the America Lost and Found BBS story. This is like the first thing I ever bought during a Criterion sale like 2 or 3 years ago. It's got 7 films in it, I believe. Head, which I haven't seen, directed by Jack Nicholson, I think, and is starring the Monkees. That's the Monkees movie. Like, hey, we're the Monkees. If you don't know what the Monkees is, if you're not as old as me or older, you probably don't. Easy Rider, I like Easy Rider a lot. I've seen that one. 5 Easy Pieces, I need to watch that. That's a Best Picture nominee. One of the reasons I grabbed the set. Drive, he said, haven't seen that, or A Safe Place. Last Picture Show just got a 4K from Criterion, so if you don't want the whole set, this thing's like $60 half off, so it's a damn good deal. But if you're pickier, I would say definitely get Last Picture Show. It is great. There's a 4K Criterion, and it's in the Columbia Classics 4K set, which is weird. So I have that movie twice. And then you got The King of Marvin Gardens, which I also have not seen. So a lot of these are produced / starring Jack Nicholson and the guys of that counterculture film era of the late 60s, early 70s. That is like what this box is all about. Peter Bogdanovich, people like that. But it is a cool set. If you don't want to just get Last Picture Show on 4K and you want to get some more bang for your buck, I would recommend the set because it's like I said, $63 half off. It's a good one. It's a good set. And they're each numbered individually, which I always thought was funny. It's number 544 through 550. See through the dang plastic, but yeah, there you go. See it there. This one I got from my sister, and I watched it last year. How adorable. This one I can guarantee is getting a 4K. I'm surprised it hasn't. And it is James L. Brooks's Broadcast News, number 552. I liked the movie. For some reason, even though I know who James L. Brooks is, and I know the people in the movie, it's an amazing cast, It was more of a comedy than I expected. I expected like an intense news drama for some reason, but it's like a straight up comedy about news people. So if I watched it again in the right mindset, I think I'd like it more. But I love Holly Hunter, and she's hilarious on this. She's adorable and everything. William Hurt is great, R.I.P. And Albert Brooks is like one of my favorite people ever, and he's good in this. So I would recommend Broadcast News if you're into that kind of dramedy type of film, and it's just a solid movie overall. This one I'm excited to watch. Yeah, I still haven't watched it. Emilio Estevez, a film by Alex Cox, Repo Man, number 654, Repo Man. This is one where I'm like, that looks so cool, I need it. That's kind of why I bought it. And I've heard good things. I just haven't gotten around to watching it. Another short one. It says Harry Dean Stanton in it as well. Weird little like postmodern sci-fi thing. Let me know if you've seen any of these in the comments, which ones you like, which ones I should watch first when I actually get a chance to watch any of these damn movies I haven't seen. The struggle, am I right? All right. Next, number 562. 562. I can't read if you can't tell. Can't see y'all. There we go. A Brian De Palma film, my favorite Brian De Palma film at that, at least the one I think that is his best. And this does have a 4K, so this one I can wholeheartedly recommend to everybody out there, and that is Blowout. Go get Blowout, it's outstanding. One my wife really likes as well. We watched it a few times. 1980, John Travolta, Nancy Allen, John Lithgow, back when all he did was play weird people in Brian De Palma movies for some reason during that part of his career. But, you know, good for him. Blowout. Get Blowout. That is one, like, top tier recommendation from Criterion. The next one here, another David Fincher movie. I always forget there is another David Fincher movie on Criterion. Number 627, The Game, with Michael Douglas and Sean Penn. It's not my favorite Fincher movie, but even his worst movie, I like. And yes, I am referring to Alien 3, if you're curious. It goes like Alien 3, like 40 feet of crap, which I like crap, and then everything else he's ever made. If you like Alien 3, watch The Game. That's what I'm saying. But yeah, this is a good one. Another one that's only on Blu-ray, so I wouldn't be surprised if it got a 4K at some point. But as far as great movies go, from one of my favorite directors, go get The Game. This one, another Wes Anderson one. I have a lot of Wes Anderson movies, considering I don't like them as much as a lot of people. This is number 700. Nice even number. I got this last July during the sale. This one was actually $15 last. It might still be, so check on Amazon. As opposed to being 20 off of 40, it was 15. So that's why I grabbed it. And this is a very good stop motion animated movie. Fantastic Mr. Fox. I feel like I didn't say the movie. George Clooney is the main character, if I remember right. I haven't seen this since it came out, but I do really like it. The animation is cool. I just need to get around to watching it with my kid because it's one he might want to watch with us. Next, another David Cronenberg classic. This one is surprisingly, it doesn't have a 4K, I don't think. It has a Blu-ray, which is what I own. I have the original Blu-ray of Scanners. I love that. This might be my favorite artwork out of all of these, actually. And this is number 712, I think. Is that what it is? I can see better when I show it to the camera and it focuses than I can if I actually read the thing. Or don't, whatever. It's okay. You work hard today, camera. This slip box one where it opens like that. And then the back of it has the other guy. And then the inside of it has the booklet with the brainy nerve endings and all that cool stuff. Very cool packaging. I love it. This one is the 3-disc set. I think it only has a 2-disc set now where it doesn't have the DVD disc, I think. I think it's just the Blu-ray and the special features. So if you could find this one, it's a little more worth your while. But I think the packaging is the same. It's just thinner because it's only 2 discs instead of 3. But I still recommend Scanners. Highly classic sci-fi movie. It's slow. If you like slow movies, it'd be for you. If you don't, it might not have quite the pacing you enjoy. But the movie starts off with a bang, like literally. Next, I have one, number 745. I just bought yesterday the new 4K of Don't Look Now. Very cool, creepy 70s horror movie. I need to rewatch it, but I remember it being good. If you like 70s Giallo-esque films, definitely recommend this one. It has Donald Sutherland, and I think Julie Christie is the actress in this. Next, another Terry Gilliam movie. The only one in my collection I haven't actually watched yet. So maybe I'll watch this first when I get around to watching one of these. The Fisher King, number 764. This is the new 4K, newer 4K. Like I said, anything Terry Gilliam I recommend. And this is more of a typical drama from him. as typical as a drama gets from Terry Gilliam, I guess. Stars Robin Williams and Jeff Bridges. So right there, it's worth watching. Next, I have another Brian De Palma film. It has a 4K from Kino yet again. So I like this movie. Not my favorite De Palma movie, but it's not my least favorite. Dressed to Kill. Michael Caine is great in it. It's another kind of slow paced thriller. 770 is the number. I do recommend watching it. You know, I don't necessarily recommend blind buying it for $20 or whatever it is, but I do recommend you see it. And if you like Brian De Palma movies and you haven't seen it, then maybe splurge on it. Next, I have the Cronenberg movie I haven't watched in my collection, and that is, at least I haven't seen all of it. I've seen pieces of it. Number 777. It's satisfying for some reason. The Brood, a very weird movie. I think it's from, 79, as you say, the late 70s. About a lady with a lot of weird, creepy baby things. I don't even know enough about it to explain it to you. But it's a Cronenberg movie, period. Like, that's all you need to know, right? Next, I have David Lynch's masterpiece. I mean, to people who love David Lynch, I'm lukewarm on the guy, to be honest. I love him and his, like, attitude towards stuff. And he's obviously a unique filmmaker who I respect the hell out of, but his movies aren't always for me. This one I liked, but I don't love. Some people are just like batshit over this one. And that is the 4K of Mulholland Drive. I need to watch it again. I've only seen it once, long before I bought this. I keep thinking it's out of focus, and then I realize that's the artwork that's out of focus, so not the case. 146 minutes of confusion. That's what this is. If you understand this movie, you're lying. But it's a beautiful release, though. It's got the big old booklet in it with her on there. 2-disc set, folds open like that. I don't know why I'm speaking a Southern accent all of a sudden. Yeah, this is about as Lynchy things get. So if you like David Lynch, or if you want to dip your toes in a David Lynch movie, this is a pretty good one to do it with. I would maybe recommend, I don't have the criterion of it, but Blue Velvet first. Blue Velvet's a little less crazy and long like this one, but it's also weird like a David Lynch movie is. But yeah, Mulholland Drive, it's good. I found that at Target half off in the store. It was the weirdest thing. And it was on David Lynch's birthday. It was great. I did a hunting video and I was like, oh my God, what's this? Oh, it's David Lynch's birthday. What are the odds? So yeah, I'm going to go grab my next stack. All right, this is my second to last stack. Like I said, I don't have a ridiculous amount of Criterions. I sold, I'd probably say at least 20 I used to own, which is also not a ton, but enough that it makes you angry. So we're on to number 794. I haven't opened this yet, but I've watched the movie a few times. I love it. It's not one of my favorites from this filmmakers, because it's two people. They are my favorite filmmakers of all time, though, and they are Homegrown Boys, the Coen brothers, Inside Llewyn Davis. This is one I didn't love the first time I watched it. I was like, okay, that was different. And it's one I just kind of had to keep going back to. A lot of their movies I didn't love the first time I saw them, and then I slowly fall in love with them over time, including Fargo. Like, I didn't like Fargo that much when I first saw it, and now it's one of my all-time favorite movies. This kind of happened with this one, too. Inside Llewyn Davis has an amazing soundtrack. The music is great. If you're a Coen Brothers person, like I am, highly recommend Inside Llewyn Davis. It's not going to be for everybody, but if you're a person who likes movies about music, too, it's about a folk musician back in those days, so that might be up your alley. I love it. I recommend it, but it's not going to be for everybody. Here is one very good movie. Best Director winner at the Oscars. Number 800, right on the dot. The Graduate on Blu-ray. This movie is hilarious. Like, this is another one. The first time I watched it, I was like, yeah, that was okay. I was too young to get it, I guess, even though I was like literally the age of the character of the movie at the time, probably when I watched it. But the older I got, the more I watched it, the funnier it became. Highly recommend The Graduate if you have not seen it. It's like an all-timer AFI Top 100 classic American movie. One of those if you need to watch it before you die kind of films. The Graduate. It might not be one of my favorite things, but it's definitely on that list. The next one, a Coen Brothers movie, yet again. This one is getting a 4K, I want to say in December or January. I can't remember off the top of my head. So I recommend you buy it, but I recommend maybe wait for that to come out, at least. And that is their first film, Blood Simple, a taut thriller. Indeed, I actually rewatched it. I finally opened and watched this recently. I think that was my most recent Criterion watch, even though I've owned this for like a year. I have the posters. It's in the other room, actually. But yeah, I love this movie. Very good first film, especially from the Coen brothers. It's got my girl Franny McDormand in it, who I love with a passion. So yeah, highly recommend Blood Simple. But since that 4K is coming, I'd say hold out for that. Unless you don't care, then go grab the Blu-ray right now while it's on sale because it's great. I have this one I bought just because I love Blow Up so much. I'm sorry. Let me scratch that. This one I bought because I like Blow Out so much, and that is the original film Blow Up, what it was inspired by, number 865. I have not watched it yet, sadly. So Blow Out is about a sound designer in the pictures who accidentally records a murder while recording sound. This one is about someone who photographs a murder. Same scenario. This one, another Stanley Kubrick one. Have yet to see. Barry Lyndon. It's a beast. This is another one that I won't be surprised if we got a 4K anytime soon. Number 897. From what I've seen and heard, every frame of this film looks like a painting, and I would agree with that from what I've seen. It's a long one, 185 minutes, but it's Stanley Kubrick. I mean, you can't go wrong with a Stanley Kubrick movie. So if you're into Stanley Kubrick or getting into Stanley Kubrick, there's one for you to buy. This one I highly recommend. Number 909 has a 4K, although the 4K packaging I don't like it compared to this one. So there's that. But this Blu-ray is gorgeous. It's a 4K scan, so I don't need to upgrade it to 4K. And that is George Romero's classic, The Original Night of the Living Dead. So this is one I highly recommend because there is a Criterion 4K for you to go out and buy right this moment. But it's not in a digipack. I like the digipack ones. People like the uniformity of a regular case. I don't care that much about that. I like the more interesting packaging. This one looks like an elephant stepped on the corner. I only paid like $14 for it brand new, so I don't care that it came a little dinged up, honestly. But the artwork on this is so nice. Like maybe this is what the inside of the 4K looks like. Let me know if it is. You got the cool poster in there, in the back of it. The artwork alone on this style of release just leaps and bounds better than the standard releases to me. But that's just me. But as far as the movie goes, as far as how good this movie looks, this Blu-ray looks outstanding. So I can only imagine the 4K looks at least a little better. Go buy that. Go buy Blowout for sure. This one I just grabbed, Princess Bride, number 948. I recommend it, obviously. It's not one of my favorite things ever, but if you like fairy tale comedy style romance movies, definitely go out and grab this one because it's one of the best ever made. Another David Lynch film. This one I liked. Finally watched this recently. Number 1051. So we're already into the thousands. Is so many I don't have. It's crazy. And that is The Elephant Man. This movie, it's definitely David Lynchy, but it's one of the lesser David Lynchy feeling David Lynchy movies because like the studio wanted him to make this movie. So it's pretty straightforward as far as a Lynch movie goes. So this is a good Lynch entry point as well. And it was nominated for a plethora of Academy Awards. There's Anthony Hopkins all young. But there's the silhouette, the famous silhouette of the Elephant Man, played brilliantly by John Hurt. John Hurt, not John Hurd. I said it right. I just sounded wrong, so I repeated it. So this one I recommend to go grab. It is a very lovely Blu-ray. Gorgeous black and white, The Elephant Man. It's a hoot and a half. It's a fun family time, that's for sure. This one I haven't watched this release yet because once again I suck. But the movie's outstanding. Best Picture winner, Parasite on Blu-ray, number 10. The heck is this one? 1054. This does have a studio 4K, but I've heard this looks better. This is a 4K stand, and it doesn't have as cool a packaging. And this has a black and white version on it too, which I mean I haven't watched that obviously. But hey, it's something else. It's something to watch, right? And it's got more special features. So price-wise, get the cool Criterion one. This one, I really like this movie. Once again, haven't rewatched it yet. I kind of wish it just had a 4K. This is one that should have just been released straight on 4K. So should have Parasite, let's be honest. But that is The Irishman. This is before they did 4Ks, I think. Right before this on Blu-ray. This is on Netflix, so if you're on the cusp of whether or not you want to watch it, you can watch it on Netflix before you buy it. But it's another one with beautiful like oil painting. I would recommend it. I'm a Martin Scorsese fan. It's a long movie. It is 209 minutes long. And not that it's a bad thing, but I would say it feels how long it is. Like I watched it in two parts, I'll be honest. when it first came out, but I also started it at like 9 o'clock at night, so I'm surprised I got as far into it as I did. But you got De Niro, Pesci, and Pacino, and Scorsese all rolled into one 209-minute long beautiful package. This one I love. I always recommend this one. It's a fairly new release because it's number 1071, so this one probably won't get a 4K. It'd be kind of weird if it did so soon. And this one I highly recommend. I recommend to everybody. One of the only romantic comedies I actually like, and that is Defending Your Life, written and directed and starring Albert Brooks and starring Meryl Streep as well. So yeah, this one is really fun. My wife and I actually rewatched this one recently as well, from 1991. It feels like it's an 80s movie, but it's because it's an early 90s movie, and they kind of feel the same when that happens. But this one is, like I said, only on Blu-ray. Recommend grabbing this one if you like things that are funny. There you go. If you like Albert Brooks, if you like Meryl Streep, or just comedies in general, Defending Your Life is a fantastic one in my opinion. This one I just bought. I have not watched yet. I only opened it to show it off on my pickup video I just did. Uncut Gems. This was the first 4K they released, wasn't it? Am I crazy? Wasn't it like this and Citizen Kane, which I have right after this? This is number 1101. It was so weird that this was like one of the first ones they did. They could have started with Parasite and Irishman easily, but no, they do Uncut Gems. The grainy, fast-paced, 135-minute long anxiety trip that I cannot wait to finally watch and feel anxious during. But yeah, this is a good release. I'd recommend that one just based on the quality of the release. Haven't seen the movie. Some people don't like it so much. Some people are like over the moon about it. People who don't like it still at least like respect it. So it's one of those kind of movies. This is another one of those movies, since I already mentioned it. 1104, the greatest movie of all time. Allegedly. Citizen Kane. I love the simple artwork. A lot of people think it sucks. I'm a fan. I'm a Citizen Kane fan. I love Citizen Kane. This is one I'd say, hey, if you have a Criterion collection and you're just starting out and you want to watch an old-fashioned movie, this is the movie that made like modern movies happen. Like seriously, like so many filmmaking techniques were used in this movie that were groundbreaking at the time and still used today, that were so weird and different at the time that people overlooked the film in general, and now it's regarded as the greatest film of all time. I'm not going to open this all the way up but it flops open and all the letters of his name are inside there. There's the little rosebud. Orson Welles' debut film, and that was all downhill from there. But yeah, another. Actually, I would say it's a long one, but it's not. It's just a shade under 2 hours. So it's a slower film because it's from 1941. Movies were just a little slower back then. But I think it's one of the more entertaining films of that era, just because the filmmaking techniques are so visually impressive. 1105. This is also a 4K. Another packaging winner here that I haven't watched all the way through yet. Menace to Society. If you like movies like this, like inner city drama movies from the 90s specifically, this is a really good one from what I remember. I haven't seen the whole thing in 30 years, so that's why I'm not trying to overhype it much. But it is a good one. Great packaging, good movie. All right, on to my last stack. Like I said, I don't have a ridiculous amount. I have a lot of newer ones because I was kind of in a collecting funk for a few years, so I've just recently been getting back into buying a lot of these, probably to a fault. But number, I can't even read that number. Holy crap, why didn't you make it white like the rest of it? 1110. This Jane Campion's The Piano, Best Picture nominee. I have not watched this one yet. I do want to see it. Come on, where are you? There you go. Holly Hunter and Anna Paquin both won Oscars for this film, and it won for screenplay, I believe, as well. This one I highly recommend, and it's a newer Blu-ray, obviously. 1112. Coen Brothers, probably my favorite Coen Brothers movie in the Criterion Collection so far. Hopefully there's more. No Country. Miller's Crossing. Outstanding movie. Lame that it's only a Blu-ray, but according to the cinematographer Barry Sonnenfeld, he said like a 4K transfer is like unnecessary, like it wouldn't help the film. I don't know. So he said something about it not being needed, which is weird to me because this movie is gorgeous and the cinematography is fantastic. It's no Roger Deakins cinematography, Coen Brothers movie, but Barry Sonnenfeld did a good job when he worked with him as well. This is the last film he worked with him, but yeah, I mean, just this image here, it's obviously artwork as opposed to a shot from the film, but it's taken from a shot in the film, and it's gorgeous. So if you have not picked this one up yet, or seen it, or gotten really into Coen Brothers movies, this is one of the films of theirs that made me fall in love with them as filmmakers. Miller's Crossing. Go buy it. This one I started and haven't finished, and I kind of feel bad about it. Number 1130, the 4K of Shaft. I know I just wasn't super into it, and it was late, and I just never got around to finishing the movie. I kind of feel bad about it because it wasn't like terrible or anything. It was fine. So if you can gather, I don't like highly recommend this one personally, but if you like blaxploitation cinema, then I will highly recommend it because it's like the one, it's like the one. It started it all, you could say, sort of a thing. And it also comes with the sequel, Shaft's big score on Blu-ray, so that's cool. You get 2 movies in this set. Maybe if I go back and rewatch it, I'll like it a little more. Next, I have 1134. This one you should go buy right now. It is outstanding. I haven't watched their actual release yet, but it is Martin Scorsese's Raging Bull. Arguably his best film. I don't personally like it the most, but like from a historical standpoint, a lot of people would say this is his greatest film ever. He should have won Best Director for this movie. I agree. It probably should have won Best Picture, but it wasn't quite Academy friendly back in those days. Nowadays it probably would. But back in the early 80s, they liked their Oscar bait schmaltzy stuff a little more. But De Niro's performance in this, holy Lord. I remember the first time I watched this, I thought he was wearing a fat suit towards the end of it because it shows him a little older, only to find out that he actually gained like 60 pounds in this movie. So he's like skinny and ripped when he's playing Jake LaMotta, the boxer, and then he's like old and fat, and he actually did it. Very impressive weight change performance. Deserving of his Oscar. And it's got Joe Pesci in it, too. That was the first one with them together in it. This one, yet again, haven't rewatched it since I bought it. From 2019. There's a lot of really good 2019, like, Oscar Best Picture nominees in the Criterion Collection. This is 1151. This one I highly recommend buying, even though I haven't watched this release yet. But I liked the film that much. That is Sound of Metal. It is about a drummer who loses his hearing and moves to a compound of sorts for the deaf and hard of hearing, and the supporting actor Paul Raci in this movie, who was also nominated along with Riz Ahmed. There, I almost farted his name. I always said Paul Raci's my boy during the Olive Award season because I love his performance in this movie. If it doesn't make you cry, you are dead. You are not alive. Sound of Metal, go buy it. This one, I would recommend you go buy it, but it's not for everybody. That is 1158, Power of the Dog. This is a Netflix film. A lot of these are, like The Irishman. They cut a deal with them. I'm still waiting for Mank, damn it. Where's my Mank 4K Criterion? More Fincher on 4K. But Power of the Dog by Jane Campion. Benedict Cumberbatch is great in this. This was my favorite of the Best Picture nominees a couple years ago. Like I said, it's not for everybody. It's not too long. It's just over 2 hours long. But it is a slow burn movie that you have to pay attention to the specificities, there we go, in it, to really get what's going on. There's a lot bubbling beneath the surface of Cumberbatch's character that I really enjoyed. And why can't I think of the guy's name who was nominated for supporting actor? Well, they both were, actually. Jesse Plemons was nominated. Cody Smith-McPhee is outstanding in this. There we go. Cody Smith-McPhee and Kirsten Dunst is in as well. All 4 actors were nominated. It is a very, very good movie. I would highly recommend it, even though I know a lot of people might not like it. This one, a very good one as well. 1160. This big, fat Malcolm X 4K. This is a good Spike Lee joint right here. Like, if you're going to get into a Spike Lee movie, watch this one. This is arguably his best film ever made. It's at least like his most epic film ever made. Denzel Washington, far and away, should have won Best Actor for this movie, but instead they gave it to him for Training Day for some reason. Yeah, don't at me. Another super long one, 201 minutes. It's like a life story of Malcolm X, so it's going to be long. But it is hella good, Malcolm X. I would recommend it if you are in a history buff of sorts, or you like Denzel, or just Spike Lee, and you for some reason haven't gotten around to this one. Malcolm X is my second favorite film of his I've seen after BlacKkKlansman. It was probably a better film than BlacKkKlansman, just given its emotional heft and all that business, all that stuff people see movies for. But BlacKkKlansman's more entertaining, I say. This next one is also a great release. 1161. The weird thing they did with Disney out of nowhere. WALL-E on 4K. I'm just going to say, if you don't own Wall-E, go buy this because it's outstanding. Wall-E is amazing. It is one of the best Pixar movies ever, one of the best animated movies ever. Roger Deakins' cinematography, visuals in the beginning of the film, he is credited as like a consultant, a visual consultant or something like that. And it shows. Absolutely go buy Wall-E on 4K. If you already have the other 4K, maybe don't unless you're a special features snob, or if you just like really nice releases with amazing artwork. Because like this thing, it took me so long to notice that that wasn't actually Wall-E and Eva or whatever. It's like trash bins and garbage that's just shaped like them. It's brilliant. So yeah, that is one I'd say go buy it if you haven't seen it or don't at least already have a 4K. This one is another Terry Gilliam movie. There's a pattern. One of the weirder ones, oddly enough, in the Criterion Collection. 1166. I've seen this once when I was like, I don't know, a teenager, and I'm pretty sure I watched it when I was sick at home. So this whole movie feels like a fever dream to me, and in reality, it kind of looks like one. And that is The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. Trippy movie. If you like weird fantasy films, this one's up your alley. I can't highly recommend it because I haven't seen it in so long, but it's a good release. If you're a fantasy guy or a Terry Gilliam fan, then it's for you for sure. And it's got Robin Williams in it in a cameo for a little bit, which is adorable. This one I do highly recommend. I thought it was pretty good. I bought it during the last sale, number 1173. The Hollywood Shuffle from Robert Townsend. This is like In Living Color before In Living Color happened. Like it's Townsend and Keenan Ivory Wayans wrote this together. They're both in the movie. It is basically a sketch comedy movie about how hard it is to be black in Hollywood in the 80s. And it's hilarious. So I feel if you like comedies or you like In Living Color and you haven't seen this, I would highly recommend this because it's very In Living Color. This is a weird one too. Triangle of Sadness, number 1178. These are all the ones I bought during July, I think. So we're almost there. I really like this one. Best Picture nominee from last year. It's a long one. It's slow. It gets the first act of it is longer than it needs to be. That's like its biggest downfall. But once it really gets going, it gets really interesting, and it gets more interesting during the third act. It's just a eat the rich dramedy. It's very funny. I would recommend it, but it's another one of those movies that a lot of people don't like and a lot of people really like. This one I haven't seen yet. This is one I definitely need to watch. 1180, Thelma and Louise, Best Director nominee. It was nominated for Best Picture somehow, I don't think. But Best Director, and both actresses got in. Gina Davis and Susan Sarandon. So this one, I recommend it just based on its, street cred, as it were. And it's a good, thick 4K box set, too. The Blu-ray's not like that at all. Down to the last two. This is another Scorsese one. I would say it's a Scorsese classic, but it really isn't. But it's a good one. After Hours with Griffin Dunne. This movie is a drug trip. Like it's not, he's not on drugs in this movie, but it seems like he should be. It's a very weird, funny movie. Nothing like I've seen from Scorsese before or since. It's pretty short, 97 minutes. It feels a little longer than it is the only bad thing about it, but I like Griffin Dunne a lot, and there's a lot of other good actors in it, like John Hurd with a D this time in there. So if you're a Scorsese person, or then I would highly recommend that one, just to see a different side of his filmography, because that's like when Scorsese couldn't get movies made to save his life for some reason. I know it's hard to imagine nowadays. Now Netflix or Apple TV will give him $200 million to make something that makes $3 in the box office, but back then he couldn't scrounge together like $5 million to make a movie. Who'd have thought? Really good special features on After Hours too. So I highly recommend that one. And here's the last one, the most recent pickup I did, 1194, Todd Browning's Sideshow Shockers, with Freaks headlining the show, and The Unknown and The Mystic. So you get 3 movies in this set, only on Blu-ray, but 3 movies. I think it's $35 right now, half off from Criterion. 3 movies for that price is a good deal. And Freaks is like a horror classic, so I was excited to buy this just for that. And someone in my comments told me that The Unknown is better than Freaks, so it's cool to see someone saying that one of these is at least good, if not better than Freaks. So that's it. That's all my Criterion collection is, and therefore my recommendations as well. I'll be going to do more Criterion hunting sooner rather than later, and at the very least I'll be picking up Mean Streets near the end of the month. So once again, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you watched my other videos and haven't subscribed, please do so. you're only giving me a good day. That's the worst thing that happens is you make me do this, which I know you don't want to look at, but it's fun. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Talk, shop, pop, movies.